Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Juice Gaming. It's JG Lit here, and I'm here to talk about World War II today, specifically the social space in multiplayer, and we're going to touch on the campaign. So let's get started with the headquarters. I know a lot of you are probably wondering what you can and can't do. I know there's been a lot released on the headquarters, but I feel that some of the information may have been overlooked or could be new information. So let's get started. So anyway, the headquarters is the social space of the multiplayer. When you first join multiplayer, before you even play a game, that's where you will spawn in with other people. There's up to 48 other people in the social space, so it gives you a chance to find a team, find a game. But then there's also other things you can do in the headquarters too, like you can chat to the other players via microphone or through text, and you also get emotes, but they will be error appropriate, so there will be no dabbing and all that sort. It'll be saluting, and it'll be sort of all the sort of things that they would have done back in the day. You can also go to the firing range and challenge people to how accurate they are, I'd imagine. And you've got a 1v1 dueling pit, so it's now an actual thing, and it's in the social space. You don't have to go to private matches and set up your own 1v1. You can just go to the dueling pit, and then you can go straight into it. And it has leaderboards too, so you can go there, check on, I'd imagine, your KD, your separate mode scores, and so on and so forth, and check which position you are in the world, which I know a lot of people like to do. They like to monitor how well they're doing, so this offers you this. And also you have a new kind of system where you can commend other players, so you can congratulate them for something good they've done. You can congratulate them for a patch they've earned. You can congratulate them for an emblem. And doing all these things, interacting with other players positively and giving them feedback and stuff like that, it increases something called a social score, which the more you interact with the other players around you, this goes up, and in turn, the more social you are, you get rewarded for doing so. So you unlock new gear, you can unlock new titles or medals. So it encourages you to interact with each other in a positive way, instead of the mostly usual where people can be quite competitive and be quite negative towards other players. I suppose what they're trying to do is sort of create a tighter community, so that finding a game and playing with people you don't know becomes more of a positive thing than a negative thing, because it's, people can be very judgmental in these games. I know, I've heard it and I've seen it for myself, and so it'd be really good to sort of drum up support for a positive community, which I think is a good thing. And so that's a good thing. I mean, also you get daily missions and daily objectives. You can approach your commanding officer and speak to them. They give you a mission. It could be to create a new emblem. It could be to duel someone 1v1. It could be anything. It can be go into multiplayer and do really well. So you got all that, and it's just sounds really good at the moment, and the fact that everyone sort of now sort of just literally it just brings people closer together. And then apparently there's going to be dynamic events too, surprisingly. I think this is new information. You can be in the headquarters, and all of a sudden you'll hear an air raid siren go off, and then all the players will be encouraged to run to anti-aircraft guns, and you'll be shooting planes out the sky to protect the headquarters. It sounds really good. It's really immersive. It just sounds something that I'll probably spend a lot of time in, because I can be a very social person, like with people, players. Just it's that sort of thing. I love that sort of thing. And seasonal events potentially, so it brings cosmetic items, brings in a new sort of maybe cosmetic gear for guns, for your soldier, for who you are, and maybe even for zombies. So it does sound really good, and I'm really looking forward to headquarters. It's one of the larger features that I'm actually looking forward to more than some of the things in multiplayer. Like, multiplayer is good, don't get me wrong. I'm really looking forward to the multiplayer in this Call of Duty, but I think headquarters is a really nice touch. It's going to offer everyone something else to do in the multiplayer space, and it's going to encourage people to just band together and turn it into not so competitive. As much as Call of Duty is a competitive game, and it has the MLGs and the game battles and all that sort of thing, I still think it's a good thing that the community is brought closer together, because then there'll be less hate and everything directed towards people. So yeah, it's really good. Supply drops are going to be back. You can watch people open supply drops. As far from what I've heard, now this isn't 100% guaranteed. I've just seen it somewhere. You can watch people open supply drops. Now that'll be interesting to be able to watch people as they do it, to see what they get. And you can inspect other players too. Inspect their weapons, armor, dress, emblems, attributes and stuff like that, like badges they've unlocked. Yeah, and I'm so looking forward to it. It's going to be such a good thing. It's going to be so good. It's just one of those things. Right, and that's headquarters dealt with. Now I'm going to speak about the campaign. I've not heard much about the campaign, but what I have heard, it sounds really good. So it's going to be a really immersive campaign. It's going to be something that involves the player in a lot of things. It's going to get you doing a lot of different things that you probably wouldn't have done in the other campaigns. It's very detailed. So for example, there's a mission that's called the Wolf's Den, where you'll be infiltrating a German base, dressed in the disguise as a soldier, and you need to interact with other soldiers in the proper way so as not to arouse suspicion. So I'd imagine you have some sort of way of interacting, choice based maybe, or some sort of button you need to press where you're prompted beforehand, so you can sort of address these soldiers and not raise suspicion. And the covert missions haven't had much publicity since Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor done a lot of them, but it's very few in the Call of Duty series. And yeah, it's getting through those missions, and just it's not a full run and gun and killing everyone and doing all that, and it takes more thinking this time around. And the campaign apparently is going to be rather long, from what I've heard, and it's spending time and giving players something to engage with. And the first mission, from what I've heard again, is the D-Day landings. That's usually in the World War II era Call of Duty, the first mission. It gets you into it, sort of warms you up. There's a lot of combat, some strategy involved in getting through the level, so on and so forth. And yeah, and melee will be a key part of the campaign this time round, for times when you have to be quiet or anything like that. You've got a mission called Operation Cobra, where you have to work alongside British forces to stop a German train. You've got one called the Hurtgen Forest, which is moving into the Rhine on your way to Berlin. It just sounds really good, and yeah, I can't stress enough. It's very authentic to the era. It is going to be an authentic as possible experience for the players and people who also enjoy campaign, and maybe even draw people who don't play the campaign towards it. It's just going to be so good. Okay, well, I've spoken about the headquarters, spoken about the campaign. I didn't get much through the campaign because there really isn't much that people don't know about it, so I thought I'd bring up these missions and these odd details just to fill you in on the new bits that have come out, and hopefully you've learned something from this video. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in. Look forward to more videos from me. Hit that like and subscribe if you've liked the content and the information, and I'll be getting more streams and videos out to you guys soon. Okay, well, see you later guys, take care and speak soon.